Students, welcome to SB Maths class again. We are discussing about relations and functions of class 11 and 12. There, at the previous videos, we have discussed about the equivalence relation, that is the reflexive, symmetric and transitive relations, and the related sums. Today, we are going to discuss about the equivalence class. So, let's get started. Before proceeding to the equivalence class, one concept I want to say. Suppose one relation is there, that is symmetric and transitive. I am taking one relation that is symmetric and transitive. So, what will be there? That is, if I take the relation like that, whatever I am not defining the set or whatever the things are there, just for your knowledge, I am defining one set, one relation actually, rho equals to 1 1 1 2 2 1 2 2. I am defining this relation. Now, my point is, symmetric says if A rho B, then B rho A will hold. Okay, this is the definition of the symmetric relation. What transitive says? Transitive says if A rho B and B rho C holds, if those two are there, then we can say A rho C. Now, from those two, if we want to sum up those two, then what it is coming? That is symmetric. That means A rho B and B rho A both are there in this relation. Suppose 1 2 A rho B, B rho A, 1 2 2 1, both are there. Now, if we take those two as B as C, that is A rho B is there, B rho A is there. Just match with this concept. A rho B is there, B rho A is there. So, from here, according to the transitive relation, we can definitely say A rho A is there. So, A rho A is also there. That is 1 2 is there, 2 1 is there, so 1 1 is there. 2 1 is there, 1 2 is there, so 2 2 is there. So, A rho A is there. So, is it means that is whenever one relation is symmetric and transitive, that means that is the relation automatically holds the reflexive criteria? Is it wrong? Actually, here you can see the 1 1 2 2, actually those are the identity relations I have told you previously. Those identity relations are there, and reflexive relation is also one identity relation, but one main condition is there, that is for reflexive relation all the elements of the set have to be one identity relation. This also here it is there. If I take A, the set A is 1 and 2 only. So according to this set, this relation is reflexive, transitive and symmetric. Three conditions are there. But also I have not taken the reflexive at first. I have taken only symmetric and transitive, and here automatically reflexive part is coming. But that reflexive part is coming through another relation, another element. It is not, here it is satisfying, that is 1 1 is there, 2 2 is there, here it is satisfying. But if I take another element in this, From here we cannot conclude. That is, whenever one relation is symmetric and transitive, then and there it will be reflexive. Equivalence class. This is denoted as this or the notation of equivalence class of one element A. This is one element A. So it is denoted as this. Now, what is equivalence class? First of all, the relation must be equivalence relation. If equivalence relation is not there, we cannot say that equivalence class holds. That means reflexive, symmetric, transitive, three relations should be taken. Now, what's the definition of the equivalence class? Class of A equals to X belongs to A. That is the mother set. I have told you. From here the relations are, we are making the relations such that X row A. That means this is the definition. A simple definition actually. No any big things are there. So what this means? X row A. That means the collection of the elements of the set A. Which, what condition they are taking? The condition is we have to collect those X's. Which X's are making relation with A only. That is this element. One particular element we are giving, and with that element which X's of or which elements of other elements of the set A is making the relation. The relation is defined here. Obviously well defined relation will be there. So that this collection of the elements of this set we will call that as class of A. As for example, if we take one set A equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I am extending it. We are making the relation that is AB such that B is the multiple of A. If this is the relation, then let us find the equivalence class of 1 or 2 at first. Class of 2. Okay. So class of 2 means if we want to match with this one, that is X belongs to A such that X row 2, that is the second coordinate is fixed here. If we take those are the order pairs, X row 2 means it can be taken as X2 only. According to the relation previous concepts, you know this. So now this X row 2, the second coordinate is fixed, we have to take the first coordinates. What are the first coordinates? Now it is coming. If 2, the multiples of 2. So 2 is the multiple of 2, 4 is there, 6 is there, 8 is there. So obviously 2, 4, 6, 8. As simple as that, very much simple, very easy concept. That is the collection of the elements of set A which are multiple of 2. Just write the collection. If we take class of 1, multiple of 1 only, multiple of 1, so what are there? The total set will be there. This total set will be there because all the elements of the set is the multiple of 1. I think you have got how to do this. So this is only the concept of class, equivalence class. This is the equivalence class. Actually, the name is as such, that is the tough concept, a very tough concept. Obviously, this is a significant concept because this will be used further in total abstract algebra, linear algebra if you take maths in the higher classes. But here, this is the simple concept. Okay. So now, let us see some properties of the equivalence class. Number one, the equivalence classes of two elements of a set are either equal or disjoint. Number two, if A, B belongs to one set A and A row B, then obviously class of A equals to class of B. That is, if one element is related with another element, then their classes will be also equal. Then if we want to come to a conclusion from those two results, then what the conclusion is coming? That is number 3. Number 3, that is, again I am writing, if A, B belongs to A and A is not related to B, this is the complement of row. A is not related to B, then class of A is not equals to class of B. That is, those classes are the disjoint classes. If the relation doesn't hold, then obviously the classes will be disjoint. Okay. Number 4. Each equivalence class of the elements of set A, actually any set, I am just giving the name. Each equivalence class of the elements of set A makes a partition of the set, also union of those partitions gives the total set A1. Actually, some disjoint sets we are getting. If this is the set A, if this is the set A, now some equivalence classes are there. If those are some equivalence classes, I am giving the names. This is A1, this is A2, this is A3, this is A4. So 4 equivalence classes we have got for 4 different elements. So those are the partitions of the set A. Now if we just make the union of those partitions, so obviously we are getting the total set A. So those are some concepts, or those are some properties of the equivalence class. Let us find one relation, one equivalence class of the relation this. Example, actually from this example I want to say another concept, that's why I am taking this example, that is, find the equivalence class of 0, 1, 2, then classes of 0, 1, 2, where row is defined on the integer set as row equals to AB such that A minus B is divisible by 5. Let us find the equivalence class of 0. That means the second coordinate is 0 here. If we want to say like that, A 0 such that A minus 0 is divisible by 5. If we want to say like that. So the relation, mind it, the relation is defined on the integer set. So obviously here what the elements will be there? 5 minus 0, that is 5 is divisible by 5. 10 minus 0 is there, 15 minus 0, 20 minus 0, and so on. So originally what we are getting? We are getting 5n such that n belongs to, you can take the natural number also. N is the natural number set. Or n is the integer. Because here the plus minus 5, plus minus 10, plus minus 15, those will be there. Okay. Class of 1. That means A1 such that A minus 1 is divisible by 5. So what are the elements we are getting? A minus 1 is divisible by 5. So 1 will definitely be there. 1. That is 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 is divisible by 5. Then 1 plus minus 5, 1 plus minus 10, 1 plus minus 15, and so on. Just see. 1 plus 5, that is coming 6. 6 minus 1. 1 plus 5 is coming 6. 6 minus 1 it is coming 5, which is divisible by 5. Again, minus 4 minus 4 minus 1 it is minus 5, which is again divisible by 5. Number 2, 1 plus 10, that is 11. 11 minus 1 it is 10, which is divisible by 5. Again 1 minus 10, that is minus 9. Minus 9 minus 1, that is minus 10, which is again divisible by 5. So this series will be there. So which series we are getting actually? 5n plus minus 1 such that n is an integer. Last one, class of 2. That is A2 such that A minus 2 is divisible by 5. Those are the equivalence classes of the elements 0, 1 and 2. Actually what we are getting? We are getting some series here. A special name for this relation is classes of residues of integer mod 5. This is the notation of this equivalence relation or those classes actually. Why the residues? Because you are seeing the residues we are taking here. Class of 1. Class of 1 means the 1 is the residue of those. Class of 2. Here 2 is the residue of those. So that's why it is called the classes of residues of Z mod 5. It can be denoted as A, B, C, mod phi. Which this means? This means a minus b. Here the residues, actually residues of a minus b divisible or a minus b by phi. So this is called the classes of residues, and also it is called this relation, actually a particular name, very important relation for the further classes, the relation of congruence modulo. Here it is 5, so it is 5. Relation of congruence modulo 5. I have not checked that is this relation is equivalence or not. Let us check this relation is equivalence, otherwise those classes will not be whole. Just see this relation is equivalence or not. For reflexive, what was the relation? The relation here I am writing again, a minus b is divisible by 5. Reflexive, that is a minus a equals to 0 is always divisible by 5. This holds symmetry. For symmetry, I am taking a minus b is divisible by 5. I am writing in short. So that means minus of a minus b is divisible by 5, and again that means b minus a is divisible by 5, and so b rho a holds. Here a rho b was there, so b rho a holds. Symmetric was there. Transitive. For transitive, a rho b implies that a minus b is divisible by 5. B rho c implies that b minus c is divisible by 5. So two numbers, both the numbers are multiples of 5. So if we add those numbers, then obviously the number what we are getting, that will be also divisible by 5. So from here we can say a minus b plus b minus c is divisible by 5. So that means a minus c is divisible by 5, and so a rho c. So obviously the transitive relation is being held here. So from here we can say rho is equivalence relation. Just keep in mind, actually this relation has vast use in abstract algebra and linear algebra. So you have to keep in mind this relation. Here in your class only, that is the question will come like that. If it comes that is a minus b is divisible by 5, the relation. So find the equivalence classes. How we have done like that only. I want to say another concept, that is antisymmetric relation. What is symmetric relation? Symmetric relation means if a rho b is there, I am writing here the symmetry. Symmetric relation means if a rho b is there, then b rho a will be there. What is antisymmetric? Antisymmetric says that if a rho b and b rho a both are there, then obviously a is equals to b. This is antisymmetry. Let us take one example, the relation rho AB such that A is less equals to B. Now this is reflexive, obviously. Let us take the reflexive, that is A less equals to A, always it holds. Symmetric, transitive, A is less equals to B, B is less equals to C, so that means A is less equals to C. Those are the obvious cases. Now if we want to check the symmetry, A is less equals to B, that doesn't imply that B is less equals to A. If we take one part, that is 1 is less equals to 2, so it doesn't mean 2 is less equals to 1. So that's why symmetric doesn't hold. Symmetry, it is not symmetric actually. But anti-symmetric, just see, I am saying A is less equals to B and B is less equals to A. So from here obviously we can say A is equals to B. Now when one relation supports reflexive, transitive and anti-symmetric, then this relation called as partial order relation or correlation. Regarding this, another concept is there. If it is not equal to sign is not there. If it is A is less than B, I am writing here. If A is less than B, not less equals to B, then this B is called as the cover of A, and that relation, if rho is there, then this relation is called as the covering relation. Actually those are some types of relation. Those are not in your syllabus, but for your knowledge only I have told. So students, I think you have got the total concept of equivalence classes. That was our main topic and other parts are there. So today up to this, thanks for watching.